Because what we're going to talk about next is way early in the creative process. It's what our Imagineers call blue sky. I want to be clear with everybody in here, though. We are not up here daydreaming. It's important to me that you know these things we're going to talk about, they are very real. They are very serious discussions that I'm having with our teams about the future of our parks and experiences.
What's up, YouTube? Drew here. Greetings from a beautiful day here at Magic Kingdom, where it currently feels like 1:02 outside. Today I'm here at Magic Kingdom to talk about the future expansion plans that were first teased for this park and Disney's Animal Kingdom at D23 Expo 2022 last year. And now that it's almost been a year since those expansions were first teased, I think it's worth talking about them again and what they could be and when we could see those become a reality. So without further ado, let's get to it. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, quick recap. So last year in September of 2022, D23 Expo, which is Disney's massive fan event, was hosted out in California, and at that expo, Josh D'Amaro, who is the chairman of the Disney parks, hosted nearly a 2-hour panel talking about the future of Disney parks, experiences, and products. And in my opinion, the most interesting thing that came out of that 2-hour panel was at the very end, for 16 minutes, he brought out Chris Beatty, who is a creative portfolio executive at Walt Disney Imagineering and actually led the new Fantasyland expansion here at Magic Kingdom in the early 2010s. And he also brought out Jennifer Lee, who is the Chief Creative Officer of Walt Disney Animation Studios, to basically pull back the curtain on some future expansions that we could see here at Magic Kingdom and Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now, before we go any further into this video, I want to make it very clear that everything I will be talking about today is still considered in the blue sky phase of development. So Will, Josh, and Chris, and Jennifer said that everything they are talking about are very real and very serious discussions. Nothing is set in stone. So while it is very likely that we are going to see these expansions happen at Magic Kingdom and Disney's Animal Kingdom over the next 5 to 15 years, nothing is set in stone yet. So it's fun to speculate about this stuff, but nothing guaranteed yet. So with all of that being said, that's why I decided to come here at Magic Kingdom, specifically on Tom Sawyer Island with Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in the background, because this expansion that they talked about is going to be what lies beyond Big Thunder Mountain. And chances are the Rivers of America here, Tom Sawyer Island, even the Walt Disney World Railroad again, could be impacted by this expansion once it happens. Now, in regards to some of the IPs and lands that we could see here, the areas that they talked about were Encanto, Coco, and an area overrun by Disney villains. But something very important to note is that Josh said if they are to move forward with a villains area, it will happen much further down the road than we could see that first phase of the expansion happen with Coco and Encanto. And remember, this is all in blue sky, so even though they were talking about Coco, Encanto, and villains, the land here that could be used for an expansion could turn out to be something completely different. Now, with what we saw at D23 Expo being a first of its kind conversation about the future of the Disney parks, and I also believe that was a way for Disney to see guest feedback in person from some of their biggest fans and see the reactions to that, and maybe also lead them to make these decisions becoming concrete and a reality here at Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. This is not the first time that we've had something similar to that, because back in 2017 at D23 Expo, that's when it was officially announced that the Epcot transformation would begin. And in 2017, we got a very early piece of blue sky concept art, and then at D23 Expo 2 years later in 2019, we got those finalized plans. So taking a look here, September 2022, we get the early look. Maybe by the end of next year in 2024, we'll hopefully have some finalized plans. So you can kind of see the pattern here, how Disney likes announcing things at these D23 events, and obviously there's no guarantees that we could see finalized plans announced next year, whether that's for the Magic Kingdom expansion or the Animal Kingdom expansion. I think it definitely is worth mentioning because, like I mentioned, we had a very similar scenario back with Epcot, and obviously that was all well before COVID happened and the Epcot plans were changed again, and that's still not done 6 years later. So there's definitely a lot of possibilities here, but only time will tell. So for now, we'll just have to stay tuned. And well, the main two IPs that they talked about during this Blue Sky conversation were Encanto and Coco. Something that I think is a very real possibility for Magic Kingdom is Wish, and that has not been talked about yet. Wish is Disney's new movie, currently set to release in November of this year for the Walt Disney Company's 100th anniversary, and this movie is based all around, well, wishes and magic. And depending on how well this movie does at the box office, I think that there is a very real possibility that management will consider putting a movie about magic and wishes in Magic Kingdom. So far, this film looks like it's going to be incredible. It is made by the same people who did Coco and Encanto, which did phenomenal at the box office, great music, being considered for this expansion. So I feel like Wish, depending on how well it does, could be a possibility. The thing that still fascinates me to this day about Encanto is how it made a few $100 million at the box office, which is respectable, but how it completely blew up once it hit Disney Plus. And that was also a release date around Christmas of 2021. So we have Wish releasing in November of this year around the holidays. Maybe it'll have a better box office run because of that. We don't have to worry about COVID like Encanto had in 2021, 100th anniversary film. It has everything going for it, so just throwing it out there. Why is that so loud? That's what I want to know. So that's pretty much the best look we have at Magic Kingdom's future, long down the road past Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which we have over here. There's actually a really good view of all the work going on at Tiana from over here, and a nice view of that water tower, which was installed recently. But beyond that and beyond Big Thunder Mountain, it is fun to speculate what we could see here at Magic Kingdom. Maybe Encanto, Coco, Wish, and Villains. Only time will tell. Onwards to Animal Kingdom. Alright, now we are here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. You can tell because I have a dinosaur behind me here in DinoLand. And like I've mentioned multiple times throughout this video, Disney's Animal Kingdom here at DinoLand is likely going to be another major expansion in the future. And I personally believe everything that's going to happen here will be before Magic Kingdom. If you take a look at that first piece of Blue Sky concept art that we got for the potential Moana and Zootopia expansions here, it seems like that piece of concept art is a little bit further along and more developed than Magic Kingdom. So that might give us a little bit of a better inside look at how far the conversations are along for here in DinoLand versus Magic Kingdom. Another thing that could lead Animal Kingdom to getting this expansion before Magic Kingdom is that at Shanghai Disneyland, Zootopia Land is already going to be opening there in the second half of 2023, later this year. So back all the way when Bob Chapek was the chairman of the parks and even CEO, he liked to talk about how Disney would do the design once and then build twice method.
There's for our shareholder constituents, there's a benefit there where you design once, build twice. So there's obviously some efficiency there. But the other thing it helps us do is that, you know, as we're creating science, as we're innovating, as we're inventing, we don't have to go through those, you know, perils and tribulations twice. We figure it out here, we export it over to Orlando.
So with Josh D'Amaro at the helm of the Disney parks now, with Zootopia Land already being completely done research and development wise, I feel like that would give Disney more of a reason to want to put Zootopia here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And that leads to the question, will Dinosaur be re-themed? And it seems almost guaranteed at this point. So there's a very real chance that they will take the same ideas from the trackless ride for Zootopia over in Shanghai and bring it here to Dinosaur at Animal Kingdom. And while Dinosaur is a fast ride right now, they can easily take the same track layout and ride vehicles and just reprogram it to make it slower to match and mimic what we're gonna have over in Shanghai later this year. And if not the most obvious reason as to why DinoLand is looking to be the main area for expansion here at Animal Kingdom is because of what you see behind me over here where Primeval World used to be. And that's exactly why Josh DeMar was talking about them having big aspirations for this area of the park, is because there's just so much land here, and it really does need something in the sense to get people excited about Animal Kingdom again. Because Pandora has been open since 2017 now. The park isn't even open past 7 p.m. now. You don't get to enjoy the park anymore at nighttime. So when you have a huge area of land over here like DinoLand, and you have IPs like Moana and Zootopia that could come here, from a business perspective and from a management perspective, it makes perfect sense. So with all of that being said, it's pretty much inevitable at this point that DinoLand will be replaced by something within the next few years, whether that's 2 years, whether that's 5 years. We know that this area is likely to be gone, so I would highly suggest spending some time back here at DinoLand on your next trip to Walt Disney World, taking a ride on Dinosaur and appreciating some of those more fun details that we have back here, because I will say DinoLand is one of the coolest areas in all of Walt Disney World for just fun details and fun theming, and knowing that all of this will be gone eventually, likely sooner than later, is not a great thing in my book. But I will say having some new e-tickets to look forward to in the future isn't a bad thing. So definitely make sure to stop by DinoLand and say your goodbyes, because this area is likely to be gone sooner than later. All right, everyone, that is going to do it for this potential look at what the future holds for Walt Disney World, specifically in regards to Magic Kingdom Park and Disney's Animal Kingdom. Safe to say I will definitely be taking as many rides as possible on Dinosaur, as that announcement could come at any point, and then these attractions are gone before you know it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, taking a look at what we could see in the future, and I will see you all in the next one.